You live a mediocre life because you don't get out and travel. You don't get out and see the world for what it is. America has programmed us to think that everything outside of America is third world. It's poor. The architecture is terrible. If you go there, you'll experience so many different things. You might get kidnapped. You might get raped. All these other things. And when it really comes down to it, the world outside of America is beautiful. We live in this American bubble that's starting to pop, and I feel like that's why they're so scared. This is why we're constantly telling us, oh, this is how Africa looks. It's just so poor. It's just so terrible. Don't go there. Oh, this is how Mexico is. You're so many cartels, this and a third. And yes, two things can be true at once. You can have a poor country in Africa, but let's not discount the fact that there's many African countries. There's many Mexican and Caribbean countries that are beautiful, that are amazing for people that want to leave the States, that are amazing for people who want to open up their mind to different cultures, to different ideas, to different philosophies. Sorry. And this is how they do it. They go out and they see how other communities live. The reason why you haven't gone anywhere in life, and I'm sorry to tell you, but you don't have that drive because you haven't set out to see what's really out there for you. You went to Tennessee, went to Texas. That's your idea of an ideal vacation. You go see North Dakota, you go to Oregon, and yes, that's great. America has a great little environmental, landscape. It's one of the most different ones across all the country, because you get so many different things. You get mountains, you get canyons, you get freaking tall ass trees that are all the way up to the freaking sky, like 60-70 foot trees, like landscaper trees, and that's so amazing. That's so cool, and I'm glad that you get to experience that. But at the end of the day, when you're traveling inside of America, you're still traveling within the comfort zone of, okay, these are the ideologies Americans have. This is the culture of America. You're not going to really experience the things outside that could definitely open up your mind and make you want so much more for yourself. And what's gonna make you want to finally be like, yeah, my dream life isn't just to go visit the Hamptons every week and go to Miami this week, but my dream is to go to freaking Italy or Milan for a freaking fashion week, to go to Morocco, to go onto the hot air balloons in Turkey, to be flying first class on Emirates, okay, to take airlines that people in America can't even get on because they don't even go here. It's just like, it's crazy, and it's so fun to take that aspect and to learn so many different things, to go learn about the different cultures, and just to have the experience of saying, like, I can leave America. Like, it's not a trap. I don't have to be trapped here. I can see so much more for myself, and every time I go on a trip, it makes me want to go harder and harder and harder. When I went to Punta Cana for my first solo trip last December, like a month ago, I literally came back and I was like, a bitch gotta get her money up, not her funny up, because this is what I want. I want to sit here and be able to take first class flights to Delta. For this first time, I'm 22 years old, and I think the last time I actually flew Delta was like when I was little. My mom was paying for my ticket, okay? Between 18 and 22 years old, I was mostly taking Spirit. One of my trips when I was going to Atlanta, I told myself, this is the last time I'm taking Spirit. No shade to Spirit. Love Spirit down. It got you to where you need to go. And I had no problems. Like, I know a lot of people talk bad about Spirit, but I never had no problem with Spirit. The only thing I didn't like is all the extra fees. Like, you gotta pay for a carry-on. Let's get out. But I told myself I did not want to fly Spirit anymore. Like, I want more for myself. I'm tired of flying these airlines, and I'm jealous, and I want to go on Delta. I took my first trip and I flew Delta, and I was like, okay, this is cool. Like, yeah, the plane was a little old, but I got to charge my phone on there. Spirit don't have that. I could watch TV. I didn't have to download anything on my Netflix. I had headphones handed to me. I had snacks given to me for free. It was just like, oh, this is nice. I could get used to this. And I had a free carry-on. So I was like living it up. I'm like, this is great. And so now, once I gave myself that standard, like, okay, I'm flying Delta for these things, now I push myself to go even further. Now that I flew Delta for the first time, since I was little, and on my vacation, which was granted like a 5-hour flight, I was like, oh shoot, I can't do economy when I go out of the country like that for real no more. Like, I mean, I'm gonna do what I have to do right now, but eventually I want to be first class, like real first class, like I get the whole thing. I want Emirates first class, okay? When I travel, that's what I want. I want to level up each time I go on a vacation and I go see the world, and I want to do it in style, and I want to have so much fun when I'm doing it, and it keeps me going. It keeps me going harder and harder and harder. This is why I'm making this video right now, because I want a life that I probably didn't even think about and dream of. Like, you can look at all the pictures you want on Instagram. You can look at all the videos you see on TikTok of other people going to these countries and living the life that, you know, you eventually want to have for yourself, and going to all these different countries and traveling the world. But until you do that for yourself, you're always going to just be sitting there living through someone else's dreams, living through someone else's videos. Until you go do it for yourself, until you realize that this is possible for you to have in your life, you're always just gonna be like, oh, I wish I could do this, but I'm just gonna watch this YouTube video about someone else traveling and live through them, and just keep watching videos. That's why you have to learn to get off your phone and just do. You have to book that trip. Stop being scared. Just do it. I booked my first solo trip, and oh my gosh, my mama had a heart attack. Girl, she sewed in my freaking AirTag into my hair just to make sure a girl wasn't getting kidnapped and was not getting lost. But I went on that trip. I told her I wasn't going off the resort. I went off the resort and I had a good time, and now this trip is forever ingrained into my head, and I'm like, I want more of this. And it's not like how they try to tell you, like, oh, it's consumerism and always wanting more, and that hustle culture that American has. Because at the end of the day, yes, America has a hustle culture, but clearly at the end of the day too, it's like not everybody in America is hustlers, okay? That's what differentiates people that actually go get it and become millionaires versus people who just want the high-paying job and want to settle in life. And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that, but if you want more, you have to go see more. This is why people tell you, if you want to get rich and if you want to change your mindset, go to the dealership and test drive cars that you might want. This is how you envision yourself and put yourself into this mindset, because you have to see it to actually feel like you can obtain it. If you don't feel like you can obtain it and you're just gonna forever be wishing like, oh, I wish I could do this, I wish I could do that, you're never gonna actually have that drive to put it forward. Yes, some may do. Some might be like, oh, I like never even, I mean, obviously, because they couldn't always do that. And, you know, before technology and before all this, like in the 60s and 70s, you know, they couldn't always just be like, okay, I want to go do this. But we have the power to literally change our mindset and the way that we think by going and having these experiences. And this is why I titled the video, Not Traveling is the Reason for Your Mediocrity. Going to Atlanta, cool, fun. Going to Miami, cool, fun. But do you realize that people that really have money, they don't just travel in America. They go all around the world. They're in freaking Singapore, okay? They're in Japan. Okay? They're going places we never even thought of, okay? They're not just going to Turks and Caicos, but they are. And that's on the bucket list too. But like, stepping out in your comfort zone and seeing the world is a beautiful experience. And I feel like a lot of people don't appreciate the fact that we have the ability to actually do this. We are living our ancestors' dreams, my guy. We are living our ancestors' dreams. Bro, 40, 50, 60 years ago, like, going out, bro, first of all, pause. If y'all seen It's a Wonderful Life, right? Okay, it's a Christmas movie. If y'all haven't seen it, y'all miss it out. That's my favorite. That's my mom's favorite Christmas movie. We watch it every year. It was about this guy named George. He wanted to go travel the world, okay? But do you know how much money it costs to travel the world? Do you know, like, it was so much harder to find, first of all, flights, whole different thing. most people go on by boat. Like, it was just a whole different thing. Like, traveling the world is a luxury that a lot of our people before us did not have, especially if you're Black. Come on now. Traveling the world, the only way we could do that would be joining the military. Okay, we are living our ancestors' wildest dream. The fact that we are able to buy a ticket and nobody tell us, no, you can't go. Come on now, book that trip and go. Because you never know what could happen. You literally never know what could happen. Aliens can invade this bitch right now, and you would have missed out on spending a weekend in Italy, going to Greece, okay, going to Egypt, going to see the pyramids, going to see history. Like, you could miss out. You never know what's gonna happen. So take this time now. And I'm not saying go in debt just to go travel, okay? I'm talking about being responsible, and if you have the funds to, or even if you don't have the funds, saving up for these experiences. It's gonna be so much worth it, because there's a reason, like I said, let me go back. It's a reason why they try to say that going to these other countries is just so terrible. You shouldn't go. Because I promise you, once you go travel, girl, you ain't gonna want to come back to America, okay? Join these travel groups on Facebook about people that go leave America and live in a new country. Every time they come back to this bitch, they be like, hell no, okay? I'm not coming back to this. I'm gonna stay my ass in that other country. I won't be coming back. Universal health care, free education, no school shootings. Like, come on now. And so that was my little rant for the day. I hope you guys listen to it. I hope you guys realize, like, this is what you need to do. This is one of the steps that you can use to level up and glow up, okay? Sometimes it's not just about sometimes it's not just about writing in your book your manifestation. Sometimes you need to go live out these manifestations and realize that it's sustainable. If you can afford Delta, fly Spirit until you can afford it. I did it until I could afford it. I flew Spirit. I took some cheap trips. I went on a cruise, okay? I'm 22 years old, about to be 23. I'm 22 years old, and I've been to Trinidad and Tobago, Canada, Mexico, Bahamas, and Dominican Republic. That's 5 different countries, okay? 5 different countries at the age of 22, okay? I can't live this life of just being in America for freaking 40 years. Like, the fact that my grandma, it just makes you go so much harder. The fact that my grandma never even got to take a trip outside of the country is the reason why I cannot let another generation be the one that didn't had that same story. Oh, it was different times back then, okay? You're taking care of kids, it was so much going on right now. Take this opportunity now to go. Learn what you want. It also opens you up to figure out who you are too. When I went on the solo trip, I had so much self-discovery. I said, first of all, I'm fun. I'm very approachable and I can make new friends. And I also don't mind being by myself. I know a lot of people were like, oh, solo trip, blah, blah, blah. When you go on a solo trip, girl, you ain't gonna wanna go on another trip with somebody else ever again, okay? Because as soon as I was bored of a conversation, I left. If I wanted to be out till 7 o'clock in the morning, I was. I wasn't waiting on nobody. I wasn't asking nobody permission. I was doing me. Okay, well, I'm getting off topic. Back to the thing. I just want to tell y'all, book the trip. I don't even care if you just go out to the Keys. Okay, I don't even care if you just go to drive down to Mexico if you're close enough, or take a small trip to Mexico, 1 day, 2 day, 3 day trip. Do it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be the most exquisite, luxurious vacation that you've ever had, but just start. And I promise you, you're gonna be so much happier and you're gonna be so much better for it. You're gonna come back and you're gonna want to go harder. You're not gonna want to this mediocre lifestyle anymore. You're not gonna be just wanting to go to work and then, you know, take a little 2-day vacation to Miami. It's just not gonna be enough for you. It's not gonna fulfill, it's not gonna satiate your taste buds anymore. You're gonna realize that this is what you truly want. It's gonna separate you from the people that say they want it to the people that actually want to go out and get it. And I hope you learned from this video. I hope this inspired you. I hope that you have an amazing week. Go down into the comments, tell me where you're from, and or tell me where you want to travel to in 2025. And thank you guys for coming on my video. Have a good one. Mwah.